All right, all right, all right. Welcome everybody. It's your boy Rob with your girl Charmaine, and this is the relationship party where it is what it is.
Not what it's supposed to be.
Man, we have a outstanding cast panel here today. We're gonna be talking some relationship stuff, y'all. Y'all know how it is here on the relationship party. We're gonna always bring y'all some sound advice. We have our resident therapist on the show today.
Yeah.
Charmaine, kind of give me an idea what we're doing today.
Well, what I wanted to do today, and I thought it would be really cool to talk to some people who are either kind of new in the marriage versus, and some people who are thinking about being married, and give them some good things to think about before they decide to get married. Because once you make that choice, you made it. That's number one. And just, some challenges that we had and how we overcame them. So, first, I want to thank, Shakira and Barry for being here and sharing, your take on it. First of all, how long have y'all been married?
We've been married 13 years. Well, we're coming up on 13 years.
Yeah. So that's one of the things. You see how they looked at each other and had to remember, get on the same page about what.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Normally the men
She looked at him. She was like, "You better get this right."
no,
Mhm.
normally the men don't know. It's me.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So we show that too because I'm the same way.
She don't know.
Not that I don't care. It's just I'm not good with stuff
Right. And then we have our resident therapist, Lana.
Hey, everybody.
Lana, tell everybody where they can reach out to you because we do think that therapy is necessary and
Absolutely.
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Nalana Carthen Simon. I go by Lana, but you can find me at parasoscounseling.com. And I'm on IG as well as Facebook under Healthy Relationships Starts With You.
I love it, love it, love it. So let's get into this because being married is not easy.
Whew, Lord, no.
Woo! So Rodney and I have been married for 25 years. So I want to start with the women first. And Lana, I know that you're married too. So in addition to talking as a therapist, just as a wife in your past life, present life, whatever, what would you say? And I'm gonna start with you, Shakira, had been one of the biggest things to overcome from being just a woman to being a wife?
You
That
can
many?
He was thinking
I
hard.
will my mouth
Okay.
and knowing how to use your mouth to not tear down your man. Number one,
Oh.
and then knowing how to pick your fight because you're not gonna win all of them. And do you really want to win, or do you really want to move forward and have a solution? So are you fighting to win, or are you fighting to
Be
have a
right.
resolve?
Oh, you done said a mouthful. What? Okay. So, but we're gonna come back. Well, let's talk about your mouth.
Mhm.
What were you saying? So, how did you learn how to, or what was the shift that you made? Well, how did you make your shift in watching your mouth?
Number one, he's patient. Number one, my husband is so patient.
Take that mic, girl. He's sitting there holding
Oh,
that
I'm
mic.
sorry, I didn't know.
That's see how patient he is.
He's very patient. That's what I'm saying. My husband, very patient, very kind, and with me. And no other man took the time like he did, and he would talk to me. And one of the things that he would do, he would talk to me privately. And he would talk about how, because I used to show out,
With the mouth, quick at the lips.
mhm,
Okay.
and he would talk to me privately and explain how it made him feel and how he don't like that, right? And he would always ask, "How would you feel if I did this to you?" And my whole
Ah.
thing was, I'm big on self-reflection.
Okay.
And so I'm like, "Okay, if he did that to me, you know what I'm saying? It really would be over."
Well, that's good. So let's stop right there because that's a good one.
Yeah, because when you said your mouth, I instantly thought, yeah, that's a big one for people because women don't realize how they can cut a man down with their lips, with their mouth. Especially because if you have a man that cares for you, loves you, and you constantly, in cutting him down, especially in front of people, that's not a good feeling, And it takes a patient man to get through that. Because if you have a man that's like, it's just gonna be over with. Because he's not gonna be able to take that, you know. So again, when you said the mouth, I instantly knew where you were going with that.
To say something about that.
Yes, please.
A lot of men feel like you have to be boisterous about everything. Somebody talk to you crazy that you got to immediately respond and things like that. But being a man really is more about being patient, understanding, and only fighting like that when you really have to. You know, and
Mm.
the thing that I learned just through life in general and past failed relationships was that I had to be that way.
Yeah.
Ah, I love
You're a
that.
leader.
Yes, but you know what else I heard 2 things. What Rodney addressed was the patience, but also the self-reflection to say, well, because somebody, I don't care, you just get into only how you feel. So that was a part of what you had to do. He did his part, but then you took in what he said, did the self-reflection, and what the other thing was, he said it. Instead of sometimes people hold it in. So the man won't come and tell you how he felt, or woman, but in this situation, the man won't say it. So you don't know. And y'all just go on like it didn't happen or there's some residue left. So that is very key. Please.
And I was gonna say I have a lot of couples that leads to resentment, right? So you're
Ooh.
holding in and internalizing these feelings, these conflicts, and you're not sharing openly. You said I felt. So you owned it. And so that was really good. And then she had a chance to receive it without getting offended. And that's key too. Because like if you get offended, then it's over, right?
A lot of times I was taught growing up that men don't have emotions, men don't express their feelings, men don't say what's wrong. We just continue to take it and keep moving with it. And that's you
It's
can't live
not
life
healthy.
like that.
Right.
It's not
You'll end up
healthy.
hurting people and you'll end up physically hurting people or emotionally hurting people because once you get fed up, okay, she embarrassed me all these years. I'm gonna publicly embarrass her.
Right.
You know, and
That's what I meant by the resentment is that it comes out at some point later in the relationship as in a harmful behavior. Somebody cheated or somebody did that because you hurt me. Hurt people. We've heard that before.
So Shakira, let me ask you this: when he did say, you know, this is how you made me feel, I don't like that. What was your adjustment to that? How did you adjust to that and cutting down on the mouth? I mean, because it didn't happen overnight. You just didn't all of a sudden wake up and be
Verse in
like,
there like, no, didn't.
so how did you catch yourself at times, or did you catch yourself at times say, oh, ooh, and apologize, say I didn't mean that? How did that work for you?
this is an instance where I was talking about what you're doing right now. Like I would have to point out to her, like call her out on it right then and there. Like, hey, babe, remember we had that conversation? I told you, and I couldn't give you an example. What you just did is an
Right.
example of that.
I love that. Me and my girlfriend was just talking about that. It's called iron sharpens iron. In order to help get rid of a bad habit, people are like, I ain't gonna keep saying the same thing. Well, you're gonna have to keep saying the same thing. You are the iron that sharpens iron, and a bad habit does not go away just because
Right.
y'all discussed it. There has to be a constant reminder when it comes up. So that is hot. Y'all taking notes. Y'all got y'all pen and paper? You make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe.
I would say too, because I care and love him, it was something that was on my mind. So as I'm talking, that's when you start to watch your words and not
Mhm.
say the first thing that comes to your mind. Now you're like, okay, how's this? Okay, hold on. And you're like, just no, because you told me. You don't want me
Right.
to say what I really want to say.
Right.
So let me think about it before I go.
Right.
Because you always be talking about my mouth. And he's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Over time, I was able to just now I come at him different. Because communication is key. When we started, before we got married, we had just like real conversations, like conversations that would I thought would end up the relationship.
Put everything on the table.
Yep.
I met her. I had 4 kids. I was leaving a really messed up relationship, and I wasn't in the best of places. Me and my son were displaced and everything, and we were trying to figure it out. And I told her I wasn't really in the place to really have a girlfriend and really court somebody. I didn't have. I was trying to save my money, get on my feet, get things stabilized for my son, And we had these conversations, and she talked to me and told me her feelings and things like that, and it just worked out over time.
I heard 2 things that really stuck out, what I wanna share with these couples out here that might be thinking about getting married. Like you said you loved him, and a lot of people think they have feelings for someone, but they don't have that deep love,
Well,
and
that
so
was
when you
later
love
though.
somebody, you wanna correct but in your marriage,
Oh yeah,
you're
that
thinking
the love
about the
was after
love.
when we was married.
Right.
Earlier,
Right. And the love will help you maybe be willing, more open to change. And then
absolutely.
the other thing I heard you say was you were honest.
Mhm.
So it sounds like you had that integrity there to lay everything out and not be in fear. Because if you hide everything that you are or how you're feeling or what you that's going to really keep you from being in the authentic relationship.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So let me ask this. So Rodney, we're going to go over to you. So what was one of the hardest things for you as a man being married? What obstacle? What is one of the obstacles that you had to overcome?
I mean, for me, it was simply just putting this whole thing together as one. Because we got married, you know, 31, right? And I always said I wasn't going to get married until I was 30 because I didn't want to have the responsibility of having to um, back down my lifestyle. I wanted to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, and I knew that was wasn't going to slow down until I was about 30. But then once I got married, I was ready, but at the same time, it was still hard trying to formulate my independence with us now. So that for me, that was one of the biggest things. To me, everything else was easy. Um, I could adapt to things easy, but it was my mindset. I had to switch it from me to us. So that for me, that was the toughest thing I had to overcome was that part right there.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Now let me ask y'all this because I know this is one of the things I think people get confused on is we supposed to move as one. Barry, you laughed.
I was thinking, what does that mean though?
Sorry.
So I think sometimes people think just because you're married, you're supposed to want the same things at the same time. And when you don't, it's a problem. Yes, ma'am.
No, that's a very common misconception of a successful marriage or whatnot. We're different people. We're individuals. We have different feelings, emotions, interests, and things like that. If we were the same person, we wouldn't even really be able to grow
Hmm.
together because I mean, when you have a conversation, if you're only talking to somebody who likes what you like, you'll never find anything new that you like.
Right.
Right. And so, Lana, what would you say to that? Because I know a lot of couples really like if one is interested in, and I was there when I was ready to work on credit and be this because the credit and he was sitting there looking at me like, girl. And I'm saying to myself, how can't you be there? Why are you not where I want you to be? When it didn't feel like that in my mind, but in all actuality, I was trying to get him to be where I was versus respecting the journey. We're not always going to be in the same place and find the same thing important. If you're going to be together forever, there's going to be some times y'all ain't on the same page and learn how to do you in the marriage, not being disrespectful, but you don't have to be where I'm at. Now, I'm going to tell y'all how I got that. And this is what I tell ladies, especially because I work with them a lot. If your husband decided to be fit, he decided, I'm going to work out every morning at 7 o'clock. I ain't eating meat, but now he want to come and infringe all of that on you. Why you eating meat? You shouldn't eat meat. Why you still asleep? It's 8 o'clock. Now I did what you did. I had to put the shoe on the other foot. I don't want him to try to make me do what he is. So I had to learn how to respect that for the other person. And that was difficult.
Hmm.
I agree with those things, but I do feel like I'm a traditional person.
Hmm.
So that's something you have to me, also know yourself and know what type of marriage, like what does
You
that
want,
look
yes.
like for you? I do feel like you do need to date and be with someone that you guys do have the shared vision
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
and the core things.
Absolutely.
And when
Yes.
I say, yeah, the fundamentals. Do you guys want to raise kids the same way? Do you spank and he don't spank? That's a big thing because that will divide you.
Right.
Kids divide you. Religion, like where do you, so the big things I do feel like y'all should be on the same
Absolutely.
And it's funny you say that because we had the same core.
page. Okay.
We knew we wanted to get right there, which her route of getting right there was to go this way. My route to getting there was to go that way, and we always clashed. Even though we both knew over there is where we was trying to go. And I'll say this, she may disagree, but I don't think she will. I was more flexible
You're ready.
in how we got to there. She was more, no, we have to go this route to get there.
No, I agree because again, I didn't know how. I felt like coming in, if you're a team, you're supposed to kind of be in the same place at the same time, even like business. A lot of times, and I hear women say this all the time, I want a man, we can get this bag together. Okay, but sometimes he don't want to get the bag with you. Sometimes he making his money. He okay. He don't want to be ambitious. He laid back. He chilling. Don't
Or he's ambitious, but his bag ain't the same bag that
right.
you trying to get. You trying to
Absolutely.
get a bag by doing this, where he's trying to get the bag by doing that.
Right.
So
Or you might not be trying to get the bag at the
oh,
same time.
right, that, which is very possible.
Or
But
maybe maybe he don't want the bag at all, and he just wants to be regular.
mhm.
And
Well, we're talking about values. That's
Mhm.
what you guys are talking about, like, and really knowing whether or not your partner. Those are the conversations that you have to have because the values are what actually make up the vision. Like, this is where we're going. This is what we're saying. We're doing this as a team. And no, you don't necessarily have to have all the same interests and things like that.
Right.
You have to maintain some degree of autonomy and independence
Mhm.
within your marriage relationship. You can do
Yes.
that with a partner who is, I would say, open and has those great communication skills so that you can discuss
Right.
those
And
differences
respect.
and
Because
peace.
sometimes y'all not gonna agree. And respect. Sometimes you have to
Respectfully
be
disagree.
right. Or sometimes just inspire. Because sometimes you know your person better than they know themselves sometimes. You can look, everything is not about a conversation. Some things that you have to be the inspiration. Like if I start eating better, I don't have to keep shoving it down your throat. When I keep eating better, you keep seeing me feel better, doing better. That inspiration may inspire you to do it,
Role
not me
modeling.
pushing you.
leading by example.
Mhm. So, Lana, let me ask you this question: with the couple that's watching out there, because I know it's a lot of them out there watching and saying, you know, I love this man, I love this woman. Our vision isn't the same. I don't want to lose this person. What would be your advice to somebody in a situation like that?
I would definitely advise them to maybe try to have some couples counseling. You can go to couples counseling
Mhm.
prior to your marriage.
Please.
And do it with someone who's professional. I know there's a lot of people who sometimes their church may require them to have premarital through the church.
Right.
I'm saying talk to someone who's maybe trained in marriage and family therapy or these things or their study is marriage, you know because they're going to talk to you about those differences, like the values versus the vision, because a lot of times what I actually have couples do a values test.
Mhm.
It's an online sorting activity that they go through, and so they come up with their top 10 core values each, and then what we do is we look at what are the similarities on each value, uh, the results, right?
Mhm.
And then I have them write a vision that incorporates those ones that are similar, and then really talk to each other about what you may not have had on your list, but what are you willing to adopt into your value system, right? Because there may be some things we talked about iron sharpening iron.
Right.
Your marriage is supposed to be a mirror and help you grow into who you are to become. So that's the help me part of everything. So there may be
Absolutely.
some things you need to borrow from your partner and vice versa and write that vision together.
My other thing is understanding that now this I know my take is a little different. So everybody get it. To me, when you understand that your life is yours and the person that you partner with is an asset to your life, not one life together. Let me explain just a little bit. So, keeping it short. Your journey is yours, and sometimes the person in the seat next to you, when you find the right person, was just to ride the ride. But God has a vision for you. This person is a great support to you being all that you were supposed to be, and vice versa. I'm just saying because you can only deal with you internally first. Your life journey is personally yours. Everything else is an external factor of that. So sometimes, and you won't know it all the time because you don't know it until it's revealed. When you start to really get older, and it's unfortunate, don't happen till you get older, and you realize your life was supposed to be this. Now I'm gonna give you a perfect example. It took me years to realize he was my soulmate. Well, let me say my life partner, not soulmate. For me being who I am, looking at my journey of who I am, because you don't know real fully who you are until you get older, not even fully then, but a little more experiencing who you are. I couldn't have gotten a better partner. But when
You
I
ain't
was
lying.
but when I was married in the beginning, I didn't think he was because I really didn't know myself and what my whole journey was gonna look like, right? I thought I wanted this, or you always want those things that you not getting. Sometimes we look at the 80% and all we keep focusing is the 20% that we don't get. Right, but that's good. But there are a lot of married people. There are a lot of married people who always keep, he don't do this, he don't do. You don't focus on all the things that he does do or she does do. You keep talking about the little small percent of what you don't get. And people don't divorce over the good things. They usually divorce over the one or two things. And that's the thing that I want to say. Don't let the one or two things get you jacked up unless they just your deal breakers.
That's what I was gonna say. If you're thinking about marrying somebody, right, you need to know what degree of importance you're labeling that
Mhm.
But
issue, right? Because you don't want to settle for something that you know is going to give you heartache or problems later on down the
right,
line. So if it's one of your top priorities, you know,
but
you got to move
That's
accordingly.
one of the things. The way I operate, I look at if I don't necessarily like what she's doing or don't agree with what she's doing, I ask myself, okay, is this something that I can live with for the rest of my life? If it is, I'm not gonna argue about it. If it's not, then I'm gonna have a conversation with her. But that also leads into being the leader. There's different types of relationships. There's
Mhm.
traditional relationships, non-traditional. Our relationship is traditional. Like I'm I make the ultimate decision on things. But for that, for me to have that authority, I have to sacrifice certain things. Like I never think about myself before I think about my wife and my kids. So every decision that I make is looking at, okay, how's this going to affect them? How's it going to affect the kids? And then I say, okay, how's it going to affect me? Am I going to be around to be able to handle this, with this decision making?
could I
Now,
get the
see,
clap
Barry,
button?
Barry,
Can I get the clap button?
now, Barry, you messing it up for all of us right now.
No, but I love
but
that because that was a
yeah,
note for men. That was a note for men.
You got to
If you
sacrifice.
want the traditional and make the ultimate decision, the reason why you're able to do that is because, like you said, I put them first in my decisions. And some people just want it, but they don't know how to get it.
You
I
also,
don't understand why women want to be the head. It don't make sense. That is too much responsibility. I don't understand that because I'm selfish. I do not want all
Right.
that
but I
responsibility.
also think it requires a vision. You can't lead a person or anyone, the family, the wife, if you don't have a vision.
Yeah. And
Right? So she has to believe in your
right.
capabilities
So
as
I
a
had to
leader to
show
give that.
so I had to
Trust.
That's
yeah.
Right.
safety, trust.
That's built.
Yeah.
Right.
Over
and,
over time.
and like for us, Barry, we're non-traditional. I would say based on what you were just
Right.
saying, because who I have when I knew the person I was going to have was going to have to fit in, was going to have certain things
Yeah.
in order for me to be with them, right?
Mhm.
And when I found, she had those things. So for me, I don't have to be now. If it's something I'm dead set against, I'll voice my opinion.
Right.
But I give her the flexibility because I trust her judgment,
Right.
in knowing that it's not going to be something that's going to ultimately hurt us. If I think it's something that's going to hurt us and the family, then that's why I'm like you. I'll make that ultimate decision. But I trust in her enough to where she can make a decision. She'll let me know, and I'll just say, oh, whatever. Long as I know that it's not going to affect us
Yeah.
in a really negative way.
Let me clarify that with what you said. So being a leader, you don't do everything.
Hmm.
You delegate things and you identify who's best at doing what. My wife is excellent with finance.
Hmm.
She's like, oh, and there's a lot of other things. So I turn over those things. I know, okay, she got this and she's gonna take care of these things. That way I can focus on these other things over here. And like I'm a visionary, I see big picture where we want to be.
Right.
And I give my wife the ultimate plan. This is what I want to do. This is how we can do these things. And then my wife breaks down that plan into milestones and executes those milestones for us. So
Teamwork.
Right.
Teamwork,
Yeah.
yes.
It's no different.
Yeah.
You're being a leader. You know your wife is what
Right.
she's gonna do and what
Exactly.
she's capable of, and you let her shine. I
Right.
mean, that's
Let her shine. I love it.
And
Because
that's
you're not domineering in
Mhm.
terms of your approach. And I think a lot of times we have couples, particularly young couples, that they may not have that wherewithal or that insight or that wisdom, where one is trying to lead and they think that's equal to dominance, and that's
Right.
where the conflict and the concern comes
Absolutely.
in with that. But when you're a good leader, a leader first serves.
Yes.
So that's what I would say to some of the couples, that in loving each other, you also, there's a thing that you want to serve each other. Like if that feeling isn't in each of you, there's something wrong.
Okay,
You don't
well,
wanna-
let's
you don't
let's
wanna
keep it
bless
real.
him
Let's
and he
go.
don't wanna
Let's
bless you. That's a
all right
problem.
with the serving. I got a problem with the serving.
Serving. What do you think that means?
Okay, because y'all know this show we keep it real, right? So we always talking about like the things that you gotta overcome. I'm not good at the serving. I'm like really. I'm not gonna say I'm selfish, but I'm
You want me
really.
to say it?
Yeah.
Do you want me to say it?
I'm really so in tune with all of this inside of myself. And everybody is different, right?
Yeah.
That a lot of times, and this is something I'm still overcoming 25 years, I don't necessarily, in a lot of small instances, I'm not very caring or catering. I'm not gonna say like I don't care. I just don't, I'm not thoughtful. I don't think about it. But I think because our marriage, he's a very independent person, right? And so am I. But sometimes I do recognize, damn, it would be nice if you were a little more caring. So that is one of my relationship flaws. But that's the other thing, y'all. Own up to your stuff. You can't get better
we're not
if you're always
perfect.
defending it
Right. Yeah.
or you won't be honest with it.
Right.
I'm not, but that's why I said that those kind of things, knowing that he accept me anyway, are the things that I make me realize that he really is my life
So
partner.
that's that fit part,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because everybody,
Absolutely.
you got to determine who you're going to fit with. But service, just in terms of like you have a desire to work together, you have desire to help each other. There's some way that you're thinking about how can I bless you or be considered. It can be a wide range of things, so it's not necessarily like
Well, I'm just saying, but
house
some people
water.
selfish.
Yeah.
Wait. Some people
break it down to
selfish.
They
one
are,
thing.
yeah.
I love my wife, and I want my wife to be happy and have a life that she's going to enjoy. When we pass away and move on to wherever we're going next, I want her to not have regretted being with me.
Mm.
And
That's beautiful because a lot of men don't have that. No, well, no, really.
Regret being with you.
Boo. Right. But no, but seriously. And so there are different dynamics because people will listen to you and be like, see, that's what I'm talking about. But sometimes that's not the partner that you got.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he
Or
had
some
to
people
tell
have to
me-
learn how to do that.
right.
One of the things he had to tell me, and so I was like, oh, because I just didn't.
Right.
He had to tell me one day, it's my responsibility to make sure he eats. I thought that was crazy because I'm grown, he grown, right? Um, and when I say that, when I cook for the family, of course. I'm talking about he's out with his boys or he's out, and I'm at the house. I didn't order DoorDash or whatever, and I didn't order him anything. He come back like, "What'd you get me?" Nothing.
I know somebody like that too.
Mhm.
And he was like, and I'm like, and my whole thing was, I thought you already ate. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do. I
Because you're
understand that.
you've been out all day.
Because you're a whole grown person, I
Yeah,
thought
you've
that
been
you
out all day.
had
Like, why
taken
would
care
you
of
eat? Well,
yourself.
I was out all day. I would eat, right? I don't have to. You like you ain't got to tell me. Like I'm gonna just eat. And he was like, men don't do that. Like we might slide into a drive-through, but for the most part, I'm coming home to whatever you cook, prepared, have for me. And that's when he told me, he was like, it is your responsibility. Let me tell you. I was like, what? He was like, it is your responsibility to make sure that I eat. So now when he's out, I have to call and say, okay, look, I'm doing DoorDash, but you want something?
I'm not there yet.
But
I feel him on that because let me.
Because my thing is, he told me.
right, right. But hold that thought. Hold that thought. We need to go for a quick commercial break. Then we're gonna
Yeah,
get
'cause
your
you
thoughts on it.
want me to
Yeah,
uh-huh.
I'm cutting you off. Hey, yo, you're at the relationship party. We'll be right back
You
in
about to
just
keep
a
it
moment.
100% real in here to now. All right, y'all, and we are back again.
I
This is
tried to cut you off at the commercial break.
what?
All right, what you guys say? Go ahead.
Well,
and
I'm
say.
welcoming our audience back.
Okay,
Let me
okay.
do that first.
Okay, like, share, and subscribe to the relationship party. Go ahead.
Yeah, but y'all might not like Charmaine after what I tell y'all. But again, y'all, we are back. It's the relationship party with your boy Rod and your girl Charmaine. And this is where it is what it is, not what it's supposed to be. So when Charmaine, she was getting ready to end the whole show. We weren't gonna be a podcast no more. She didn't want me to tell y'all this, but it's okay. Okay. Now I gotta turn around for this. Y'all, I love to eat breakfast, right? My wife will get up in the morning and she'll come downstairs and she'll be downstairs for 2 hours. She won't cook a damn thing. But as soon as I come downstairs, she's expecting something to be cooked and wanting me. And I do, y'all. When I cook for both of us, but it's not reciprocated. Yes, the other day, she was downstairs for about 2 hours. I was just sleeping in for a little bit. I didn't smell an egg. I didn't hear no water boiling or nothing. When I came downstairs, I made something for me. And I did it on purpose because she sat down there all that time. So, America, world, all our fans, can y'all please, Beyonce got a beehive. I want the Rod Hive or something. Can y'all help me in shaming Charmaine into cooking me something for?
Okay. So
And she getting ready to say,
no, we
I
we
don't
got
cook,
no,
but
no. It's
okay.
not that. So a couple things. One, when my feet hit the floor, it's not that I'm just not cooking for him. I will go without eating. I will go straight into work.
But you heard what Barry said.
But that's
It's
Barry.
your
That's Barry
responsibility
and
to make
Shakira.
sure
I
I
got
eat.
nothing to do with Barry and Shakira. No, so don't do that. No, just
Dang.
joking. Look, no, but seriously.
I thought it was crazy when he said it to me too.
But I don't even think it's crazy.
I don't
But
ask for
because
much.
he's never said it.
Me either, Barry.
You know,
Me
so-
He
either.
explained it to me and he said it. I was like, okay. Because my husband is very, very and like I have it good. So I know I have it good. When he said that, I said, okay.
Okay, well, so let me just say this. So me being who I am, I will jump, and it's not even when he's not here. So it's not like I'm not cooking him something because I'm waiting for him, right? If he's not here, I will wait. I just go straight into work mode. See, this is what I've said about being thoughtful. Now, I did cook you something a couple weeks ago. I did it on purpose because I know. But let me say,
Remember that time?
ladies, but did y'all hear? Did y'all hear what he said? I waited upstairs. I did it on purpose. See, that's that tick for tack shit.
Oh, yes, it was tick for
That's
tat.
what people do.
It was tick for tat. The other day was tick for tat.
I'm very ticked.
It was because
But don't explain it. Hold on. Because the theory of tick for tack, that is another bad place that couples get into. and we do find ourselves, and sometimes you get so far in the tick for tag, you be like, how did we get this far? However we got here, we need to stop it.
Treat
Well,
me
it's
like you
actually
would like to
passive
be
aggressive
treated.
behavior.
So
Right.
all I'm doing is reciprocating the behavior that I am receiving. And if you like the behavior that you've given me, you should not have any problem with receiving the behavior that you have given me.
Well, I don't like cooking,
it's
so
not what-
it's
Yeah, and you
hard
know,
for
and,
me.
and even if she would have said, "Hey, babe, do you need any? You hungry? You want something?" Even if I'd have said no, then that I'd have been fine with that, right? But to be downstairs for 2 hours, and then when I come
Well,
downstairs,
well, she admitted that she doesn't have a servant or like kind of a
I
considerate. That's not
don't.
in
I
her,
listen,
don't.
and it
listen,
ain't developing.
listen,
It's not. It's
listen.
not.
You have
And I
other
feel bad.
ways that you show that appreciation.
And
or
you know what? And I
that
told my
love.
girlfriend the other day, I don't know why it's so hard for me.
As nice as I am,
It's because you do cook. No, seriously. No, he really does. Because he will come straight downstairs. But that's kind of like what he do. And that's just not
That's what
like
I was
what
gonna
I
say.
don't do, right? And so it's a struggle. And so it really, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sometimes I say to myself, what makes you so rebellious that you know what you want and you just won't do it?
Hmm. That's a good
can you
question.
We
can
need to
you
come.
answer?
We need to come.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need to come to
No,
counseling.
no. We counseling right now. She here. She here.
No, but no,
Help her
'cause we
with
can't.
that.
No, we can't go that
One
far.
thing I did hear is about the strength, Rodney's strength, and maybe because you were saying something about strengths over there. You can recognize what each other brings to the
Mhm.
table. Like, however, what is making you hesitant or cautious or resistant to learning new behaviors that you know will bless your husband? That is something you do need to
I know
think about.
sometimes you gotta love, because I love him. It's no question about it. I don't know what that
Love in
is.
his language though, and we've talked about that in the past.
Yeah.
But if you are in a relationship, you have to be bilingual. You cannot just speak the language of love or meaning or service that makes sense to you. You have
Right.
to speak the love and language that's making sense to your partner, the
Right.
one that
Right.
resonates with him. And if breakfast is important, he said, did you say breakfast is important to
It's
you?
your
You
favorite
love.
food.
He said he loved
I
breakfast.
have to eat in the morning. I have to.
Yes. I will give a shout out to my husband because he knows I love breakfast and he serves.
So, Steph and
gets my
Charmaine,
breakfast going.
be bilingual.
Yeah. Even if it, okay, here's the compromise. This is what I would say to a couple. Even if you're not going to do it every day because you know that
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what he loves, then maybe it's something
But
that
that's
you
that
incorporate
time I
once a
did
week.
go. That not too long ago, I did it on purpose.
Mhm.
But then I'm gonna tell y'all what really kind of irks me.
What?
Not irks me like towards him. I don't know what it is. I hate when I feel like a person is waiting on me. Be like, I know he up there waiting. I ain't doing it. I just get
Do
rebellious.
you wait on him for anything? Do you have expectations with him?
Yes.
Wait, no, let her.
But so let me say this. I have expectations based upon what we've always done. Like he's the cook. So it's not like I expect, oh, he you need to get that. That's just what he normally do. So it's just like a set expectation because of our pattern, right? But we really, and this is why our marriage works. We really don't infringe and have big expectations of each other. We are really, I'm me, I'm him, and together we just make it
Y'all
work.
hear what she said? She said, "I'm me, I'm him." So she. Y'all see, you see what the mind do to you. You know, yeah. You try to sit that in there. Like, I ain't know.
Y'all know what I meant.
I ain't know about.
Y'all
She
know what I
playing
meant.
both roles.
She Rod and Charmaine. Jeez.
No, but seriously, but so that's the dynamic. So, so that's a good point, though.
Do I agree with the she, her, and me? Oh no, yeah. We're both definitely individuals who we don't require a lot of each other because we're our own individual people. But when we need to be, when we
Right.
do, if I do need something from her, I'll get it. If she needs something from me, she'll get it. So
But it goes back to this setting the tone.
now, in her defense, and I ain't gonna defend her a whole lot on this, but typically, if we're getting up around the same time, I'll come down and I'll cook. I'm gonna always cook for us.
Yeah.
Now, my daughter that stayed with us right now, I don't cook for her, but it's just us. So we'll always eat.
Wait, are you saying? Well, are you saying that your daughter that stays with you, you will cook and on purpose leave her out?
She's 23.
When she get up, she don't even be out. It's all right.
She's 23, but that's
But-
yeah. But no. I will. I'll cook for us if we're up at the same time. But it's just those occasions where, you know, like on a Wednesday, I sleep in.
I get you.
So if she's up for 2 hours, well, give a brother a bowl of cereal or something.
So, but
You know
now
what
we
I'm
said
saying?
Order something.
So now
you
that
know
we,
what I'm saying?
now that he said it, next Wednesday I'm gonna make him a bowl of cereal, and then I'm gonna put it on Facebook.
Yeah. Don't pour the
That's not the
milk in
fault.
until he come
Oh
downstairs.
yeah,
though.
don't let it be
Mhm.
soggy. But yeah, there are some basics that I really want to share that I think couples need to think about when they're choosing a partner.
Okay.
So before you say I do, right? You really need to think about the values, right? What are the common things that you value and believe in? And values don't necessarily mean that you do them always consistently, but that's something you consider extremely important, right? Because there is sometimes what we call cognitive dissonance where you believe in something, but you may not be acting that out, but
Right.
it could be a problem if you don't move in that
Right.
direction. So, and then communication, right? Effective communication,
That
healthy
part.
communication, where agreement is not necessary, but understanding is.
Mhm.
And I teach couples something called pledge talk. And
Okay.
it's literally an acronym on how to be more effective with your listening. So you listen for emotion, because a lot of times we hear the content, somebody's talking to us and telling us information, and we're waiting for our reaction. The reaction comes, but then we're also waiting for our turn. Exactly. So I teach them about that, and then bids for attention or affection. So this is a part of attunement. So if Charmaine says, "Oh, I want to go plant some plants, some flowers," and you start talking about the game, that's an example of turning away from one another. Okay,
If
so
she want me to plant flowers while the Ravens playing, she already
it ain't
knows
gonna
it
happen,
ain't happening.
right?
Sorry.
But it's so important to tune in and turn towards, because over time the differences between those who master relationships versus our disasters are the ones who know how to tune into one
So we
another.
need to do. So we have some good events.
So you want to plant flowers? So,
It's the acknowledgement of it. Like if she brings
that's
it
what
up,
you gotta
Like
do.
you
no,
talking
I mean
to me
you have
about
to
what
do
you,
it.
what you
Right.
want to talk about, and then I just changed the
You
subject
just
to something
get
like I start
exactly.
talking about playing Call of Duty or something.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
don't
never
dismiss me
you
like that.
never
Okay.
tuned in. You never
Yeah, don't
turn
dismiss
towards your
that. Don't be
partner.
But some of
dismissive.
those things are what we're gonna do because we're gonna have some
I know.
retreats come up and stuff because we don't know how, and we're always in the pursuit of getting better.
These are
There's some things,
skills.
and those are things like we need to have some just women on a panel because there are some things that we have to overcome. Man, we speak a different language, so that's what I'm trying to tell. Like my husband, for number one, my love language. When we talk about love language, so this is the other thing. Before you get married, there's some things you can do. Once you marry, you got to figure it out. Let's talk
Go
about
to
that.
counseling.
So
Let somebody help you figure it out.
exactly, exactly. But you have to figure it out. Like our love language. Back then, when we got married, we ain't know too much about no love language, wasn't paying it too much attention, right? My husband is definitely an acts of service person. Y'all heard what I just said. I will rebel against anything I think you want almost. Right? I'm a uh words of affirmation. My husband's not giving me affirmation, nothing. Okay? We've been together.
Is that why you don't give him his acts of service? Because he don't give you your
Probably,
words of
you know that might be it. Might be it.
Y'all both have to be bilingual. You both have to be bilingual.
But let me just say this. We've been married for 25 years. Now, let me just say this again, too. That's why I'm saying sometimes you just have to find out a good way of meshing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It takes some time, but what it takes is some acknowledging, right? And I'm going to tell y'all this for real. This is just my opinion. Being married for 25 years, be you. Let your person be them, and y'all find ways to make it work. But I got to tell y'all this most of the work for you you're going to have to do.
Mhm.
It's not for the other person to do, because what we do is he on this, he on that, she on this, she on that. You have to resolve that within yourself.
You're the only person you can control is the
Mhm.
end at the end of the
Yep.
day.
So you have to find those tactics. Now, like my husband, he's not doing words of affirmation. It took me years to realize when I say something to my husband, he's going to look at me like a deer in headlights. But in that 24 hours, he's going to be addressing, not verbally, by action, what I said.
That's what I like.
But that was hard for me because I'm words of affirmation. So when I'm in my moment and I couldn't get to hear him talk, and I'm sitting looking at this mother.
But the thing is, if there's nothing behind what you're saying, that eventually won't
Right.
feel like
Mhm.
love anyway.
Right.
So you
Right.
can say a lot of fluff.
Right.
And ladies, men, there are a lot of people out here who will tell you anything,
Yeah.
text you
Absolutely.
anything,
Yeah.
say anything that sounds good. But that's why it's important to date for a season.
Right.
So that you can see the revelation of their behavior as well. Because
But I told
gonna
y'all it took
tell-
me years
that's
for
gonna
that,
tell you what you need
Solana.
to know.
I was annoyed. It didn't matter what it was. I needed him to say, okay, babe, I heard you. Bam, I'm on it. My husband would look like this. I'd be like, this mother, it's only A, B, or C. What the?
You gotta
I
think
was
about it.
Processing. He's probably
You
a
gotta think
processor.
about it.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. So this is what I'm saying about the ladies. I had to learn that though. I'm waiting right now. So this was the thing. That wasn't something that he needed to fix. I had to fix me. I had to make myself be more patient. When I realized it still took me years because I wanted it now. That's what I needed. I needed
Mhm.
to hear it now. He wasn't giving it. Now I could have left, but then I had to learn that I had to learn how to stop going so far in your mind, because I be done divorced, broke up, back together in that 24-hour period because he ain't saying nothing.
And the biggest thing that I realized was, and she even admitted it before, like she would be home thinking about something, talking to her girlfriends, and so many other things, and then she'll ask me about it and want me to say something about it in 10 seconds.
That's like, wait,
You had
y'all,
all
You
day
gotta
to process.
process it, right,
y'all ever
right.
have the
Process it and talk it over with
But
your
women do it
friends.
all the time
Well,
because
with
we
the
think it's that
pregnancy.
simple. Women do it all the
she
time.
knows she pregnant. She done sat at home, you know, had the pregnancy test sitting there, and she's like gone through all of her emotions and
Right.
different things. And then he walked through the door, and she's like, "Guess what? We're pregnant." And he's having the same emotions that she had, but because he didn't respond with happiness
Right.
right
Right.
off the bat,
Right.
she gets
Then
mad
that's
at
a
him.
problem. Right,
But-
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that's respect. So this is what I'm saying about those are some of the keys, because it's not about a particular thing. That is the behavior. If you don't give the other person a chance, and it's usually women to men, we think faster. Men make the best decisions because they don't work in emotion. But we want to hear something right now. So, ladies, and I'm saying for only who the shoe it fit. That's one of our things. We want to know right now. We want to hear right now. We don't talk to 3 girlfriends about it. We don't know A, B, and
And we
C.
want to talk right now. I've had so many
Mhm.
couples where they're backing their partner into a corner about a
Right.
conversation they want to have immediately and causing extra conflict
Right.
because you're not giving them literally physical space. For one, that's a problem. Blocking, like, no, I
Yeah.
want to, and they're blocking the door, things like that. So, give people the respect
Right.
and give them patience to process how they think, how they, this is a cognitive thing. It's a
Yeah.
real
But-
thing.
Because as a man, when you back us into a corner, our natural reactions to come out fighting,
Yeah.
to come out swinging.
Protection.
So like again, if you thought about this all day and I'm backed in the corner, you pressure me to answer this right now, you're probably not gonna get the best reaction from me. And
Reaction is the key word.
Right.
You're going to get a reaction
You-
versus
right.
a response.
You're gonna get
and
a
those-
reaction.
those are
You're
two
definitely
different
getting a
things.
reaction. It's not gonna be
But
yeah.
so
yeah.
a tidbit for ladies, especially seriously, when you want to have the conversation, schedule it and give him a heads up because he gets a chance to think about it. Right. So now when you ask, he had taught, don't sit there and look at him because we be looking like, why is he taking so long? Don't do that. Heads up, babe, when later on tonight, do what's good for you around 9 or
Whatever
10 or
time.
this
Yep,
weekend or
schedule it.
whatever. I want to talk to you about whatever it is. so he can start getting, because he doesn't have the information that you don't have. You done Google, called 3 girlfriends, talked to 2 people mama, and got all this information that he does not have.
Right.
And then, but again, it's not about the thing you're talking about. You'll find yourself doing that in everything. So
Mhm.
once you get that one done, that'll kill a lot of things in that arena.
And let me add
Please.
this. I would suggest, not only in a marriage, but even in a relationship, you guys need to talk about how you're going to fight.
That's
Yes.
really good.
And
Yeah, I
when I
agree.
say how you're going to fight, you guys need to set up rules of how that's going to look like. And I know that sounds crazy, but don't hit below the belt. And you guys need to talk about what is below the belt.
Ladies.
When he has shared his vulnerabilities and vice versa, you shared your vulnerabilities, but women normally tend to do this.
Mhm.
You don't throw up, and that's why your mama, you don't, you cannot go below the belt.
Let me do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to create the emotional
Right.
distance and the lack of trust.
Mhm.
And that's you were talking about that earlier when you were talking about your mouth. When your mouth won't come into effect until when things start getting heated, that's when you hit below the belt. And like I don't even want to fight. I don't even want to argue.
But you're going to. So that's why I'm
You're-
saying
you're-
set up rules.
Honestly, I'll
really-
walk away.
Yeah, we really don't.
I'll walk away because I
we
know
haven't had-
things can get heated, and I know her mouth and her mouth will lead to my mouth. That's why I always walk away.
I say give people the space
Yeah.
to do what they need to do. That's what I'm saying, blocking doors and things
Yeah.
like that. Sometimes you do need to put a pin in it,
Mhm.
but agree to come back to it, and decide when that's going to be. Because sometimes there are people who avoid. Right? You said
Mhm.
fight, or freeze. Right?
Mhm.
And so avoiding is not good either. Like I'm just walking and leaving, and
Right.
Problem don't get solved.
But
Exactly.
that's good one. So hold that thought for a second. Don't forget that one. But back to your fighting. So this is because I'm always about you as a person.
Mhm.
Couple things about fighting. First of all, you have to know and be honest with yourself.
Mhm.
Are you going in for a fight, or you said it early, in for resolution?
Right.
Or just to be heard?
Right.
And expect the consequences of what you went in there. So if you go in and you get a fight, then you have to go back. You know what? I went in there. I really did go in there for a fight. Let me be honest. I went in there with all my guns blazing.
I actually
Or
tell
all of
couples
your
to come with
emotion.
recommendations. Actually.
Because sometimes you have to have your emotions out when you're trying to
Yeah.
resolve. Now, we're going to have a show on this, but this is one thing I know for certain. Sometimes women, when we're expressing our feelings, and we talked about effective communication, how you say things is going to put the other person as if you're blaming them.
Right.
I know your intent. That is not what you mean, but that's what it sounds like when it hit another person is. If you say, well, when you did this, and then you did that, and then you did this, and then you did that, and I felt like, now he feels bad that I made you feel, but now you're saying I'm the cause of all this pain that you just had. I'm either going to have to defend myself because that wasn't my intention. So fighting, we got to have a whole show on that, because fighting
How to fight
effectively
fair. I actually do teach couples
to
about
get
fighting
what you're
fair.
trying to get across, was really what you went in there was to be heard.
Mhm.
You didn't go in there to resolve, but how do you say that? Because people don't teach us how to communicate that when it hits another person's ears. Because if my husband came to me and said, well, when you did this and you didn't cook that and you did that, I would be like, well, wait a minute, bro. First of all, I was came downstairs. I was working. I'm going to
One
defend.
defense. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And then I'm going to feel some kind of way, because now let's talk about that you don't do.
Yes.
We have to learn how to do that. And some people say, all I said was, that's not all you said.
It's how you say it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you got to pick. That's why I say you got to pick. You got to pick your moments.
Yeah.
Praise in public, discipline in private. That's
That's good.
one of
That's
the key things.
Yeah.
If we're arguing, we need to argue where everybody can't see us.
Right.
I'm
And
gonna praise
that's
my
hard.
wife publicly all the time, and then we'll talk about things that we have a problem with.
I love that.
That's a good
Oh, we
one.
got so many topics. Write these down, producer, because that praise in public. You
Mhm.
know, there are some men who, I won't just say men, but some people who will not praise their partner because they feel like for whatever reason, but that's a whole nother show. I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna speak for them, but just really don't feel comfortable.
It's a method of control. I mean, for those of us who have been players back in the day, you you beat on a woman's self esteem, or if you big up her and make her feel like she feels good, then you can't really control her that much.
But
So
if you
fear.
do
It's
that,
based on fear.
if you do praise your partner and like say big her up and give her, you actually come out better
Right.
Mhm.
than if you don't. Because
Right.
now this woman knows that, oh, my baby loves me. He's
Mhm.
allowing me like I let her shine.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You'll
He
see
let me shine, but because he's not words of affirmation, he does not praise.
before she interrupted me.
Okay,
No,
sorry.
I let her shine, and it doesn't belittle me at all.
No.
Everybody knows Charmaine. I'm her husband. Not a big deal to me because I'm still who I am. I'm still, good in all areas that I'm good at. But giving her shine and all that she doesn't bother me at all. And I will also whatever she needs to help, so I can help shine that light on. I'll do it.
That
Yeah.
takes maturity and a
I knew
sense of
that's exactly what I was gonna say. My
security,
husband's
right?
the Mac in the back. He the one pulling the strings.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah, you don't have to be in the limelight.
Right.
right.
No, that doesn't.
Secure men can do that, and
Yeah.
that's not, of
But
course,
we're
that's
not.
what we're
And I think
we're
we
not
should do
taught these things,
right.
though. Like,
Exactly. And I think that's good for both. I think a woman should praise, and it may be praise for some who gonna take that. I ain't praising nobody. Not just
Affirm,
acknowledgement.
encourage.
Yeah.
Acknowledgement, because it's pure facts, whether you say it or not. If your husband or wife is the shit, they the shit, whether you say it or not.
Right.
But you shouldn't let other people tell it more than, and it's not a kissing, oh baby, you all that. Now, if your dynamics is in such a way,
A good
What-
job is a good job.
but some people now don't do it because they're resentful because the person act like they all that. So it's different dynamics of, you
that
feel
or
what I'm
they're
saying?
jealous, or they don't feel the same level of success or things like that. So that can make people's self confidence and things like that. But
Or everybody kissing your butt, so I ain't kissing it too.
Especially depending on women. Depending on how successful she is, she can then turn it and start looking at him like, well, I'm this.
Right, that's what I'm
and you
saying.
don't
Yeah.
do- And I don't like that type
Yeah.
of stuff. But
Relationships is a constant game of ping pong. When that ball come back, you just hitting it back. Sometimes you don't even know you hitting it back. It could be by move your hand. It could be, there's so many nonverbal
Mhm.
communication. Everybody talking about effective communication, and women think it's always this. It is not.
well, one thing that I would like to let everybody know before you get married, relationships, period, are not 50-50. Ever.
Right.
Ever. Sometimes he's given 80 and I'm giving 20. Sometimes, it's 70,
Right.
30. It just depends on the situation and what's going on at that time. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I
I
love
was
that.
gonna say the other thing you need to consider besides
wrap up.
communication would be finances and intimacy. These are questions you need to be talking about with this potential mate, maybe considering.
Right.
Lay everything on the table, because again, if you can't have the open dialogue, you're gonna miss something. If you're not letting enough time go while you're dating, you're gonna miss something. If you don't have a third party, maybe come into that initial dialogue at some point,
Right.
you may miss something. And not that you're gonna get it all
Right,
out.
exactly.
Right.
You're gonna
And at the end of the
constantly have
day,
relations, but
constant
have those
self
things.
reflection. That's one thing that a lot of people always miss. You have to really think about the things that you're doing. Like if my previous dating, everything that I got is trash. I'm like, man, all of this is trash out here. But if I self reflect and look like, man, something I'm doing,
That's
I'm
what
attracting
choose it,
trash.
right,
the
exactly.
common
Yeah.
denominator.
You pick the
Right.
trash. You pick
So
the
let me
trash.
say this, y'all.
Right.
This has been a great conversation. We've got to do more because we need more relationships and marriages in our community. No matter where you are, whether you're choosing, whether you're in it, the key word is commitment. And I need y'all to understand commitment means the willingness to try, even when it's not working. You keep going until you figure it out. Now, I'm not saying to the detriment of yourself, but I'm just saying you twist it this way, you twist it that way, you shake it this way, you shake it that way. That's what we need to be
Till
doing.
clarity comes. Really, right?
Absolutely. And when you respect each other's journey, you don't always have to be one. Sometimes I'm me and you, but we're in the same car. Sometimes you need to get your ass in the back. So
Enjoy
that's
the ride.
I do want to say too, one of the things that I had to learn with not having to be right, there's more than one way to solve a problem.
absolutely
Meaning, so we don't always have to do it my way.
right.
His way can work too. But I
Absolutely.
always
See how she hesitated on that?
No.
His way can work too. Dang.
I always say we can try your way first, but
Right.
if your way don't work,
Right. Then we go my way.
yes, please go back.
Absolutely. Well, y'all, welcome. Thank you so much for being at the relationship party. Make sure that y'all like, share, and subscribe. And if you know some people who thinking about being married or having a little trouble in their marriage, make sure you tag them so they can watch this show, y'all. And we're gonna keep bringing y'all all of this great information.
And if they are having those issues, Lana, give your information one more time so they can contact you.
Nolana Carthen Simon. I'm a licensed professional counselor. Look at parasaucecounseling.com.
All right, we coming. Me and Rodney coming to talk to you so I can cook him breakfast. All right, y'all. Bye.
Chef.